I hope I didn't spoil the perfect record of pins and ribbons solving all the world's problems. I mean, you can't name a problem from guns to bullying to breast cancer that still exists after people wore a ribbon for it. Except all of them. You posers. 3 years ago, everybody was all into Ukrainian flags. What happened to that? Another cause tossed into the junk drawer with yesterday's choke collar? Get out of here with your virtue-signaling body ornaments. They're just crucifixes for liberals.
Let's be honest for a second. Nothing says, I'm changing the world, quite like a tiny piece of metal pinned to a tuxedo while you sip champagne on a red carpet. Yeah, this is the world we're living in. Awards season rolls around, cameras start flashing, and suddenly everyone's a passionate activist. Right up until the next trending cause replaces the last one. And if you're already rolling your eyes, do me a favor, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment early so the algorithm knows you're here for the chaos, because this one's about to get spicy. The Golden Globes came and went, and once again politics didn't just make an appearance. It grabbed the mic, pushed the winners aside, and made itself the main character. Celebrities were out there wearing pins like superhero badges, broadcasting, "Look at me, I care." And look, I'm not saying caring is bad. I'm not saying people shouldn't have opinions. I'm not saying they don't have the right to speak. I'm saying we've reached a point where the performance of caring has completely replaced the inconvenient, boring, unglamorous part, actually doing something that changes reality. Then there's Bill Maher. Love him, hate him, be annoyed by him, whatever. You can't deny the guy leans straight into the third rail, like it owes him money. While everyone else is following the red carpet activism script, Maher basically says, yeah, no. A reporter asks why he isn't wearing the outrage of the week lapel pin, and he responds with something refreshingly simple. What happened was terrible, but he doesn't need to wear jewelry to prove he cares.
Right in the middle of awards season here in Hollywood, how about everybody drop the politics for a couple of hours and just enjoy these happy, dopey celebrations of show business? You know, I was up for a Golden Globe this month, and thank you. Please. I'll put it with the 33 Emmys I lost. That's a real number. And walking in, some reporter asked me why I wasn't wearing a lapel pin for the first Minneapolis shooting a couple of weeks ago, and I said, well, it was a terrible thing that happened, and it shouldn't have happened, and if they didn't act like such thugs, it wouldn't have had to happen, but I don't need to wear a pin about it. Now, please understand, I had no idea this question was coming, and so tonight, I'd like to say that if I had the chance to think about it, my answer would be exactly the same.
And that's where people completely lose their minds. Because in the modern rule book, if you don't wear the symbol, you must be against the cause. That's how shallow the conversation has become. It's no longer do you care? It's did you post? Did you pin it? Did you repeat the slogan? Did you perform the ritual? Miss any of those steps, and you're treated like you kicked a puppy on live television. Maher's point, beneath all the sarcasm and eye-rolling, is actually very simple. Moral seriousness is not a fashion accessory. A pin doesn't stop violence. A ribbon doesn't cure disease. A hashtag doesn't fix policy. A stand with graphic doesn't feed families. And yet, we keep pretending the world runs on vibes and symbols. Like, if enough famous people wear the right little badge, the universe will pause, look around, and say, oh, okay, problem solved. My bad.
About what? And then when I see what it is, I'm like, holy, this is what you people are so worked up about? According to the internet, what I did with my comments at the Globes was laugh, scoff, mock, take a dig at, and refuse to join Golden Globes activism. Golden Globes activism? Oh, you mean the activism of fixing a pin to my suit?
That's why his line hits so hard. Name one problem, guns, bullying, cancer, poverty, corruption, that disappeared because people wore the right ribbon. You can't. And that's not because awareness is always useless. It's because we've turned awareness into the finish line. We treat raising awareness like it's the same thing as changing outcomes. And it's not. Here's what it really looks like. A house is burning down. Someone shows up, snaps a selfie in front of the flames wearing a Stop House Fires sticker, then heads off to an afterparty. They get praised for being brave. Meanwhile, the house is still on fire. That's performative activism in a nutshell, activism designed for applause, not results.
Spoil the perfect record of pins and ribbons solving all the world's problems. I mean, you can't name a problem from guns to bullying to breast cancer that still exists after people wore a ribbon for it. Except all of them.
And Maher isn't just criticizing the pin, he's calling out the entire vibe of award season politics. Can we not do this for 2 hours? Just 2 hours? Can we do the thing these shows are supposedly for, celebrating movies and TV, without turning every moment into a moral lecture? Because the truth is, a lot of people watching at home aren't thinking, yes, thank you, millionaire in designer clothes. I needed your wisdom. They're thinking, I can't afford groceries. My rent just went up. My car needs repairs. Why are you lecturing me? That's the disconnect. That's the whole issue. Celebrities don't just live richer lives. They live in a different universe. Private flights, multiple homes, security teams, assistants, a bubble where normal consequences don't apply. And then they step onto a stage and speak like they're the moral voice of the people, as if they're doing grassroots organizing between Pilates and a perfume launch. And before anyone jumps in with their citizens too, yes, they are. They can speak. Nobody's saying they can't. Maher's point is simpler. You can speak, but don't be shocked when people don't take you seriously. Because being talented isn't the same as being informed. Being famous isn't the same as being wise. Being admired isn't the same as being trusted. And it's not just that they're out of touch. It's that their activism usually comes with zero risk.
Awareness you really care about, which is how wonderful you are. Ricky Gervais once told the award show crowd, "Don't use it as a platform to make a political speech. You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world." And of course, this is where celebrities say, "How dare you? We're citizens with just as much right to speak out." Agreed, you absolutely do. I'm just saying, don't.
That's what makes it feel hollow. Real activism costs something: time, money, relationships, opportunities, even safety. Real activism means you're willing to lose something for what you claim to believe. Pin activism, on the other hand, is the safest bet imaginable. You get credit, you get applause, you get positive headlines. And when the cause becomes inconvenient, you quietly unpin it and move on. No sacrifice required. That's why Maher's Ukraine pin call-out hits too. Remember that moment? Blue and yellow everywhere. Big speeches, big emotions, endless "we stand" with statements. Then time passed. The algorithm got bored. A new crisis took center stage, and just like that, solidarity expired. Did the suffering stop? No. Did the war magically end because a few A-listers wore a ribbon? No. The attention just moved on. Because for a lot of Hollywood, causes aren't commitments. They're trends, and trends have shelf life.
Everybody was all into Ukrainian flags. What happened to that? Another cause tossed into the junk drawer with yesterday's choke collar? Get out of here with your virtue-signaling body ornaments. They're just crucifixes for liberals. Because every time I see one, I think, Jesus Christ.
Weak.
Yes, the same. Ice, thugs, pins, stupid. I'm with me on this one. So no need to keep sending supporting texts. Yeah, you know how I hear about whatever my latest scandal is? I open my phone and there's a dozen texts. "I support you." Great, I assumed you did. About what? What are we talking about? I'm sorry, I don't get my gossip from the internet like most people. I get it old school.
That's the part people don't want to admit. Celebrity activism often follows attention, not principle. It's not about what matters most, it's about what's in the spotlight. And the spotlight is a ruthless little beast. It demands novelty. It demands constant switching. It rewards whatever gets clicks. That's why 1 month, everyone posts black squares. The next month, it's flags. Then it's protect this, ban that, stand with this, boycott that. And by next year, half the people involved can't even remember what they were outraged about. So, when Maher calls it posing, it sounds harsh, but you can feel why he says it. At a certain point, people are exhausted. Not exhausted by empathy, exhausted by the performance of empathy. The ritual, the recycled speeches, the serious faces on stage. The I'm brave for saying the obvious in a room where everyone already agrees with me energy. And here's where it gets uncomfortable. The issues themselves are often complicated. Maher isn't doing the easy thing, reducing everything to one villain and one hero and calling it a day. He's saying reality is messy. And the idea that you can slap a pin on your blazer and pretend you've engaged with any of that nuance is insulting. It turns real suffering into red carpet props. The reaction to Maher proves the point. One comment, one refusal to participate. And suddenly people are texting him like he got drafted into a war. Stay strong. We support you. And he's like, support me for what? It's funny, but it's also bleak.
Show business came out for Kamala Harris, from Oprah to Clooney to Beyonce, and she lost every swing state. A survey of Ohio voters found Taylor Swift's endorsement actually had a negative impact, with 24% saying it made them less enthusiastic about her as a candidate.
Come on.
I don't know, Springsteen and a few others, celebrities don't strike people as relatable or in touch. And what their activism mostly activates is eye rolls. Because stars, they're not just like us. They're just not. They fly private. They have 5 houses all over the world. They give their kids ridiculous names. They make candles that smell like they're insulated divas whose talent allows you to pig out on the finer things in life, because we all need something to aspire to. But being talented, which you are, isn't the same as knowing things or having the credibility to advise people on their politics. You rail against privilege, but you avail yourself of the greatest privilege of all, to remain clueless.